This is probably the hottest part of the main street up here. This is where all the sort of more western bars and restaurants are. Hello there, welcome back to Thailand my way. This is Mark here. We're on another road trip again today. This is even shorter than the last one. This is just a quick trip into town because I'm just going to go for a walk up the main street in Ranong. Just give you a little bit of a look. Also give you a few facts and figures about Ranong. It's a stunning little city down on the southwest coast of Thailand, about 600 kilometres south of Bangkok. Up until recently, probably the last 5 or 6 years, even the Thais didn't know too much about down here at Ranong and what it has to offer. It's been well known to Bangkok Thais for a long time for the casino. There is 2 casinos here now across the border in Myanmar. Do a boat ride. We do have an estuary or a river between us and mainland Myanmar. Both the casinos actually are on islands. One is the Andaman Grand Casino. The other one, for the life of me, I can't think of the name of it now. But anyway, we're just going to drive into Ranong. Going to do a bit of a walk up the main street. Today is Saturday. In the high season, we do have a walking street down here as well of an evening. Lovely little walking street, about 1 kilometre long. So we'll probably have a wander along there tonight as well and have a couple of beers. So as it does say at the start of this video, let's do it.
They know my train, but can't remember my name. Ain't nobody listening, and that suits me just fine. Oh, they wanna hear me cry where the neon stars shine, where the neon stars shine, and the whiskey flows in the dark of the night.
Okay, as we wander along the street here, just going to mention a couple of little bits and pieces about Ranong. As I did say in the car on the way in, Ranong's about, I think it's 568 kilometres south of Bangkok. And we're also about 310 kilometres north of Phuket. Trip from Phuket to Ranong is very nice, a little bit coastal. Occasionally you can see the sea, you go through Khao Lak and places like that. Well, Ranong, one of the other videos I talked about, the first governor of Ranong was a Chinese immigrant. Ranong is very, very Chinese. This main street in particular, there's a lot of Hokkien style buildings, which you'll see as we go along now. This is a Chinese temple. We're just wandering around here. There are lots of Chinese temples scattered around. Your usual Thai Buddhist style temples also, but there are some very revered Chinese temples around the place as well.
When the sun's going down, no stars in the sky, I'ma head down the road.
Now, Ranong province was once a deputy town of Chumpon, way back in the Ayutthaya era, which is mid-1300s up to the late 1700s, I think it was. It was a very small town back in those days, but it was basically here to protect Chumpon, which is 100 kilometres northeast of here, to protect Chumpon from Burma. Ranong province is actually the least populated province in Thailand. 80% of Ranong, 80% of the area of Ranong province is covered in forests and mountains, or 67% of it is mountains. In former years the major industry was tin mining, but now most of the mines the tin has been exhausted, but they still are farming or mining white clay up in the Hudson Pen area, which the clay that they use to make porcelain. And of course fishing is another major industry here. It was prior to COVID. The boats are not allowed to cross the border anymore. Most of the Thai boats would go into the Burmese borders fishing. That's not permitted anymore during this current period. Rubber was a biggie as well, but the price of rubber now is way down, so that's not being done so much, but there's still rubber trees everywhere. And cashew nuts was another one. My last video over in Koh Payam, you heard about the cashew nuts being the primary farm thing over there. Well, same in Ranong a long time ago, but not so much these days.
So nobody knows. Been hanging on a memory, and we're hung out to dry. Just doing my time where the neon stars shine.
Across the road now, we're walking into the Burmese market. This is the highest hill, the highest point of the main street, and there's Burma market up here. When I say Burma market, predominantly the staff in here is probably all Thai owned, but predominantly the staff are Burmese and predominantly the customers are Burmese. We're just walking through the food part of it at the moment. This is 24 hours a day. It never stops, this market. Had a few beers late at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, wander on here, you'll get yourself a pad krapao or a nice radna or something. But it's a very big market. The only problem up here is parking's an issue. There are some parks, but not too many. But anyway, it's well worth a look. We're going to wander through here for a little bit. Up the other end, we're going to go down the stairs and wander into the little sort of undercover roadside part of the market. As we wander through, I don't know, those that have been around Asia for a long time, you can tell the difference between the Thais and the Burmese. The Burmese ladies have got a lot rounder faces. And here's a bit of a giveaway. You'll see a lot of them, whoever hasn't got a mask on, you'll see they'll have a little bit of that white powder on their face that I talked about a few videos ago. Right, we're going to wander downstairs now. There's a little bit of motorbike parking and stuff down here. Yep, that way, yep. Pretty much the same sort of stuff you see in markets all over Thailand, to be honest with you. Every now and then you find a gem, you'll find something a little bit different, or you'll find a better price than a market somewhere else, but from what I've seen, it's all the same. Okay, we're out of that solid concrete one now. This is like a laneway going down here, but over the years it's evolved. They've put a roof over it, covered it all in. Transport still meanders through here, not so much cars anymore, but anyway, it's pleasant to go down here and have a look, and you'll see, as I mentioned, lots of the ladies' faces and the kids too. They like to put the white powder on their face. You can buy just about anything down here. You name it, all sorts of stuff. Have a look what you can get for kids here on the right. You know, if your kids lacking a little bit of firepower, there you go, something to liven up the 8-year-old's birthday party. But you can get all sorts of stuff from this market. We're going to cut it short down here. We'll wander back out towards the main street. This is supposed to be nice little flowers on the left there. This is supposed to be a main street video, but this is very, very much part of the main street because it is in the top of the centre of the main street and at the highest point, and it's got historically been around a long, long, long time. Just spotted this little temple off to the side. There's another Chinese temple like the one we showed you before. As I say, they're scattered all over Ranong because of its Chinese heritage. We'll just have a quick look while we're here.
We're hanging on a memory, and I'm hung out to dry, just to doing our time.
You gotta love the colours on the Chinese temples and the dragons. They're really eye-catching, very, very nice. Bit quiet inside here. I see there's a lady up in the back corner having something to eat. I won't go in. I've got shoes with laces on now. You got to kick your shoes off when you go in these places. I couldn't be bothered taking my shoes off, but anyway, lots of colour, very nice.
Going down, no stars in the sky. I'm head down the road, across county line, where they roll up the smoke. They pour beer and wine, hearts break on the jukebox.
Okay, we're going to head back up to the main street now. As we wander up there, I'll just tell you a little story. A lot of foreigners around Thailand jokingly refer to Ranong as Ranong, and they quote Ranong rains 8 months of the year, blah blah blah. It doesn't actually, it's been a long, long time. Or occasionally there are years where it will rain for a good part of 8 months, but it's not like that so much. It's not that bad. A lot of video logs that I've watched, people say every time they come here it's raining, and it's always raining, and it's 95% of the time raining. That's not the case. We get patches in between, but we do get a lot of rain. Anyway, these they call it Ranong, but the funny thing is, the name Ranong is a distortion of the word Ranong, which was the original name of the place, or Ranong, which sounds similar to Ranong, so maybe that's where the foreigners get it from. But Ranong or Ranong, which was the original name, actually means full of minerals. It's got doesn't mean anything about rain at all. Okay, we'll continue wandering down the main street here. That's a Song Tao there, that little red car we just parked. Bart bus is another name they give them. Jump on board there, you can go as far as you like. I think it used to be, last time I got on one many, many years ago, it was like 6 baht. I could get on it and I could go 7, 8, 9, 10 kilometres and jump off again. Just have the coins in your hand, give them to the driver as you go, or you pass them up. If you're sitting at the back of the bus, you pass them hand by hand with everyone else sitting in the Song Tao, and they will pay the driver for you. So as we wander around now, we're at that high point, as I say. Coming up on the right, we've got, this is Gold Alley, for want of a better name. All the gold shops linked together along here. Gold in Thailand is not, they don't measure it in ounces as such. They call it, their measure is 1 baht, which is the same as the currency, but not the same value as the currency. They refer to 1 unit as 1 baht. Now 1 baht is about, I think it's about 0.49 troy ounce. Troy ounce, for those smarties out there, should know that that dates back to the Middle Ages. I think it was the French that used that as a measurement.
A buzz on in my favorite song is playing in a Broadway bar. Then you walk in and you're all alone, the hottest in the room by far. And you look up and our eyes lock
Sitting down at Barn Song, which is next to Pon's place down in the main street. It's famous. You'll see quite a few YouTubes on this place. Thais especially. When they come down from Bangkok, they come here. I don't normally do food on my channel, but this guy's ice cream, homemade, is fantastic.
The bed's messed up just right, so we make love and we make plans, and God knows that I'm all about it. We're up high, never coming down, baby, just you and I, or the rest of our life. Yes,
This is one of Mr. Pon's vehicles here, Song Tao. Saw her on the front there, Pon's place. Can't recommend Mr. Pon enough, to be honest with you. He's got minivans, he's got cars for rent, he's got a big bus. No, and he's not running tourists around, he runs the school kids around. He's got a finger in everything, Mr. Pon. Makes his own water. Great family, great business, been here a long time, so make sure you pop into Pon's place and have a look. Anyway, let's kick on down the street now. We're over halfway now, so we're going to speed it up a little bit, but I'm just going to give you a couple of little more facts now before we, as we wander down the street. We're heading into a quieter part now. We talked about the rain before, but just throw in an extra couple of facts here. Most of Thailand gets around 1200 to 1600 millimetres of rain a year, which is quite a lot for anywhere. This is tropical region or whatever though, but Ranong, there's only two places in Thailand that get roughly the same rain. It's Ranong and Trat. Ranong gets 4,500 millimetres of rain a year, which actually makes it and Trat two of the wettest places in the country. It's 4.5 metres of rain a year.
it's gonna be a done deal, just wait and see. It's gonna be a done deal, just wait and see.
All your little bits and pieces along here. It is a Saturday, a few things are shut. Some things are shut, I think because of the dreaded disease, but anyway, Saturday normally quietens off a little bit anyway. Ranong actually has, like most towns I guess, Ranong actually has a provincial slogan, and Ranong's slogan is, provincial slogan is, Kra Isthmus, mountain grass, cashew nut, mineral water stream and real pearl of Ranong. That's a sort of generic translation to what they say now. Kra Isthmus, of course, is further north of Ranong. That is the narrowest part on the west side. That's the narrowest part of Thailand where it reaches Burma. I did a video, one of my previous videos, were over on the eastern part of the most narrow part of Thailand. There's a quaint little guest house coming up on the left here. A lot of the buildings along here, when I first moved here, there was a little hotel called the Wood House a little bit further up. These are a bit, the Hokkien design and the whole lot. This one's been dressed up nicely, but these buildings are over, some of these buildings are well over 100 years old now. The old Wood House, which has been pulled down now, we're going to come up to the side of that shortly, but the Wood House was the first guest house in Ranong. So almost pointless talking about it because it's not there anymore, but there is a hotel in its place now called Suk Park. You know, we talk about Ranong and the Chinese influence and the Hokkien style buildings up the main street here. This one here is actually Sino Portugese design. There's a few of those scattered around the town as well. All the same, very, very nice. I'm not going to walk up there today, but I've done a video on it previously. But in the road parallel behind us here is Ratana Runsan Palace. which I did talk about in one of my other videos. But that was famous because King Chulalongkorn, who stayed there back in 1890, stayed there for 3 nights. There's the ladies making the fried banana there, very nice. A little bit too early though. Anyway, yeah, that's a replica building that's up there now. The original building was destroyed or in a fire, I'm not sure exactly how, but that's a replica there now, but from 1890, but it's a lovely place to visit. I'm going to wander across the road here now because this is J&T restaurant, just coming up there, the gentleman standing in the doorway. Very famous amongst the Thais from Bangkok as well. They do a salad in there of some sort that apparently is very unusual, well worth a look. Australia, J&T ผมรู้จักเห็นในอินเทอร์เน็ตเยอะ Anyway, just to finish off my King story, so King Chulalongkorn was the first one to visit back in 1890. King Prachadipok, which was Rama VII, he visited here in 1928. King Bhumibol, which was Rama IX, he's the one that died recently. He visited here with his wife Queen Sirakit in 1959, and the Thais are very proud of that as well. I get my face masks here, you can just see them down there. You can get a box of 50, 80 baht, so $4 for 50 face masks. Now I remember at the beginning of all that, this disastrous year, we were paying about 50 to 100 baht for one mask. Now you're getting 50 for 80 baht. Bizarre. Anyway, this is the newer part of town up here now. This is where the woodhouse I was talking about earlier. This is now called Suk Park. It's a little hotel in here. But this was where the original guest house in Ranong was situated. A very old wooden building. I went in there a couple of times to visit people, stayed there once. As you went upstairs, you went up the lovely old teak stairway. When you got upstairs, in some spots the floorboards were missing. The building was that old and sadly it became neglected. Got pulled down. Anyway, it belonged to, which a lot of this strip here does, belong to the Na Ranong family, which I've talked about in other videos.
For the rest of our lives, for the rest of our lives, yes, you and me were meant to be. For the rest of our lives, drop your guard and take a ride with me, 'cause you got what I want, oh, and I got what you need. For the rest of our lives, it's gonna be a done deal, just wait and see.
This building you can see behind me, this was, still is, Ranong's original cinema. I came here first 22, 23 years ago. It was already here and up and running then, so I don't know how old it is. It's closed now, and it's actually used as a birdhouse now. So those little swallows that go in and make their nests, and the Asians like to get the nest, and it kills cancer, it keeps you alive, it's got all sorts of magic ingredients in it, but they harvest them from the birds' nests, the swallows' nests. So that whole cinema, imagine how big it is. Inside, you can see all the windows up the top, all the small windows, all little holes. That's where the swallows come in and out. They make their nests, and the nests get harvested. Now, many, many years ago when I first came here, and that was being used as a cinema, there was very few movies. The advertising signs they used to put up out the front were hand-painted. Few and far between. There was no subtitles, there was no English movies, it was all Thai movies. That wasn't going so well, so in the end they started to broadcast the English Premier League in there on the big screen, and it started to fill up. They would serve you beer at your seat until that started to get a bit rowdy. We are in a town that's predominantly Burmese, even though we're in Thailand. A lot of the Burmese doing the labour here, but it was it got a bit rowdy with the football and selling booze inside and the whole lot, so needless to say, it eventually closed down. A new cinema's opened up now down at the new mall near Big C. So a bit of a shame, a bit historical, but it's still there. It's now one huge bird's nest. I'll just go for a little bit further, wander further down the street now. Just a couple more facts for you. Ranong's got a population of 193,000 people at the moment. There's 77 provinces in Thailand, and Ranong is ranked at number 77 for the smallest population. It's actually ranked 70th for the density of population. That's the B Hotel, we're just passing there now. KK Internet, he's been around since as long as I've been here. The first internet place in Ranong, from what I can remember. DD Coffee, they've been around forever. Little TP in front. Little pub coming up on the left here now, that's changed hands. Well, not changed hands, same owner, but many people have rented it over the years. It used to be a karaoke upstairs, was a fun place 20 years ago, I can tell you now. And the before, this is all very, very lively in the walking street. We'll get a look at a lot of this tonight when we come back for a look. Just to finish off my population story about Ranong as well. Ranong is also the 19th on the smallest to largest scale, the 19th smallest province in Thailand. This is the farmhouse, very nice. 2 stories inside, very popular with the Thais. Got a little hotel down the back. That's also very nice. Get a bit of a squiz of that as I walk past. Staff getting ready by the look of it for the evening. Yeah, you can see the farmhouse. You see down there what their theme is, and it seems to work well for them. Just a couple of little tidbits. That's not a typical Sino Portugese place there. That's recently made. We're going to have a little bit of a wander further down now, but just a couple of things to wrap it up. Provincial tree for Ranong is the banaba tree, but I'll put a photo of them up and you can have a look yourself. This is the provincial seal of Ranong. It depicts a castle or a palace on top of a hill. It's a memoir to King Chulalongkorn for the visit that he made to Ranong, being the first king to Ranong. Now this here we got is Dala House. Dala House is a little guest house, a few little bungalows down the back. I know this family very well, lovely, lovely people. I highly recommend it. Around about 500 baht for a room a night down the back. It's lovely and quiet. It's in amongst it all. It's one of the best spots in the street. This here is the Hideaway Ranong, or Ranong Hideaway. This is where my restaurant was. I had a restaurant here for about 8 years, long time ago now. The family finished up taking it over, demolished the building that I had, and they've built this one, which is a fantastic building. Out the front here is Tudor style. In the back of it, it's actually Edwardian style. It really is a gorgeous property and well worth a look. He's done it to the finest of detail inside, like any English pub you're going to walk into, with big wooden beams and big fireplaces, and so well worth a look if you hit Ranong. Okay, well, that's pretty much the end of the main street now. Keep going a little bit further. We've got the prison down there, but I don't think we'll bother with that. Okay, we're going to jump on a motorbike now, finish that walk. I've done my leg in, so I'm going to jump on a motorbike. I'm going to head back down towards my car. This video's gone on a little bit longer than I thought, so what we'll do is we'll make it in 2 parts. This is part 1. Part 2 will be the walking street this evening. So anyway, just enjoy this motorbike trip as we head back through town. Not too far to go. I might point out a couple of things on the way as we go. There's a photo of the king coming up here in front of the municipal offices. Our masked up crabs, symbol of Ranong. Whole family on the motorbike, almost back at the car now. Don't forget, subscribe if you like this. Hit notifications if you want to see some more. Be back. little bit later on for the walk around the nighttime market.